Tree. Hey, Tree's listening, and he just got done telling me there's no volume. All right, there we go. My bad. I did not check that. My apologies. All right, now you late. Now you guys can hear me. Hello. This is Diana Roberts. Like I said earlier, yours truly, one and only. But I'm not the one and only because you know how many Diana Roberts are out there. I've Googled it. I have Googled it.
Really?
How many Briannas? I said it right this time.
Yes, you
Hey,
did.
so now I don't have to go back into that
No.
conversation. Okay. Um, and then I don't even know what we were talking. We were just talking about random stuff a little bit ago about when I was a kid.
Yeah, the
I had a
parrot,
dog. Yeah,
Booty.
my dog. I saw my dog. I was like 3 or 4 years old. Named him Booty because he was going around sniffing people's butts. And then my dad had a parrot, and this parrot would sit on its butt, and he would like nip at his butt. And this parrot was very. He said a lot of profanity. He was a very bad bird, and but he would nip at his butt, and I'd say, "Knock it off, Booty," like or quit messing with my booty or something. Quit messing with my booty is what I would say. So my parents would laugh hysterically, of course. Because, I was a comedian then and I still am. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Angelo. Thank you guys for giving me a heads up on the sound. I appreciate that. Again, my apologies. So it is a wonderful, beautiful Tuesday morning. I say that, but the weather looks terrible. And I don't know about you guys, but I just want to be sleeping.
Yes.
I just want to be curled up, right?
Well, but I got 2 hours sleep, so yes.
Yes, you need some. You should probably go home, get some sleep. Okay, then come back and we'll do our thing.
Well, I do have to go home and get my laptop because I forgot that this morning. So
even more reason for a nap. Oh, hello. You look gorgeous. I love this blue top.
Thanks.
And we now have our Tiffany here.
I got creep.
Wait, your mic's not on.
Oh,
Hold on.
I am.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're struggling. Nope.
Came out and the Jeep top was open, and I apparently just completely forgot about it last night. So, my hair's a little crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't even worry about it. I didn't even try to fix my hair too much.
Let me just say, I don't really care.
Right, this weather,
Care.
right? This weather is not going to make my hair look pleasant all day anyway. So I'm not even going to
You
stress
look
about
lovely.
it. Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You
I
look
actually
freaking
dressed
amazing
up
for
today.
2 hours sleep. I just want to
No
say.
joke.
I mean, if somebody just ran into you in the store because you picked us up like sausage
Aw.
biscuits or something because you talked about being hungry this morning,
I was starving.
I was so hoping like, oh, maybe Brianna's going to leave early.
Well, I
Right.
do
Show
have
up.
a taco in there if you would like
I
it.
got a taco too.
This one's not pink.
Oh,
Oh
how
my
do you know what
goodness.
color mine is?
Uh,
Who you been talking to?
well, I mean, typically they are pink. I mean, all of them are typically
Pink
pink.
in the middle.
You
Pink
want
in
to
the
hope
middle.
so.
No, they are. They. I mean,
You want to hope so, like I said.
well, I haven't seen one yet that isn't. I mean, not that I've seen a lot.
Not,
I haven't really.
not
Whoa.
up front in person. Okay,
Let's
not a-
retract that just a tad bit. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Foot in mouth.
there are
Inserting
some
now.
educational videos out there that
No, I did get a breakfast taco from. I don't even know the name of it. I never know the name. It used to be Beefers way back in the day.
is it the one on the side road?
Yeah.
Dos
Olitos? I
No.
don't know.
Juanitas.
Juanitos.
Juanitas.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
see,
Juanitos.
I was
They are
closer.
so good. Breakfast,
they?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Did you
breakfast? It's a taco chorizo.
did you the chorizo one? Yeah,
Oh, but it has eggs on it, so you can't have
that's
Yeah.
right. I usually get the bean sausage and potato and like double sausage. Just give me the sausage.
Right.
That's all
I
I
know
gotta
I had
say.
one for leftover ones, and I was like, it's not bad, but it's not one that I would choose for myself. Sorry. Sorry,
my
no
leftover
bad.
bean one I left you, but
Yeah.
a
They don't like
protein up, but I
beans.
can't eat eggs. I've developed some sort of weird egg allergy, and it was my chiropractor that figured it out. She's like, because when I would go in, she'd work on my stomach, and she's like, "Have you been eating eggs?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "You can't eat them anymore." So because it was just like knotting up my fascia and everything. I actually think it's partly why I've lost weight is because I haven't really been eating eggs. I've snuck some here and there,
Yeah.
just out of like massive craving,
Right.
and but overall, yeah, my stomach's so much better. And then I
wonder if that's
realized
something I'm eating that's doing that to my stomach.
I can't eat mayonnaise because it's
Oh.
made from egg yolks. So,
Interesting.
right? So
That is.
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so we had an interesting Saturday.
We
If
did.
you didn't see the video, I got my first tattoo
That was so
as
cute.
as promised because we had
Sorry, I'm looking
um,
at the comments.
oh what
All right, so we got Angelo putting a taco up. Very nice. And then I think that's a face covering, like, well, one of the smiley faces with his, like, he's covering his face, but he has one eye open still.
oh, is that Brock?
No,
Oh,
Brock
no,
said, "Love
Angelo.
those JoCo babes." Oh,
Oh.
thanks, Brock.
Brock. Good morning, guys. Thanks
Andrew's
for joining
working
us.
from home today. It's hard not to just lay it back down. I believe that. I'm glad I'm not home. I
Well, I'll
would
tell
be
you what,
sleeping.
we have open desks here at JoCo Community Radio
We do.
/ Ensemble Co-working, and you can come and work here for $25 for the day.
Mhm.
And you can also rent our conference room, which seats 8 people, for $25 an hour. So call within,
Yeah,
and we will help you.
we got you.
Yeah. So,
All right.
All right, my tattoo's just starting to get a little itchy.
Oh, it will.
Yeah, and I'm actually not sure it's the tattoo or if it's the plastic around it. It's latex free, but the adhesive has stuff in it. So,
That
and
could
I'm
be what's
allergic to,
making
and
it
I'm
itchy.
allergic to latex. So
Yeah, same. So
it's not
I've
like
been-
raging. I'm not like going crazy or anything like that. So
Right.
I'm like just like 2 more days before I can take it off. But it was an awesome experience.
Yes.
And did not hurt like I thought it was going to. And it really wasn't even like I was afraid of pain. It was more just like the anxiety of, okay, what is this going to feel like?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't nervous right before anything. You were all apparently, are you freaking out? Are you? No, I'm totally freaking fine. Would you stop it? And
It's
and
because
so-
she was freaking out before. Like
okay, I've been freaking out for the
last couple of days, knowing it was
no
coming.
for like 4 years.
Okay, yeah,
Since
4
I've talked
years.
about actually since I picked the design of what I wanted to do for the first one. Actually, this isn't the first one that I was going to do because I had a different design that I had drawn. And then my daughter took it, who's an actual artist, and she really gussied it up. She put her artistic touch on it. But then when I decided, where I was going to put my first one, which Stacy was saying was a throwback to the 80s.
It is throwback to the 80s.
I don't
for
really
sure.
think it's a throwback to the 80s, people, because I was born in 73.
Yeah,
Proudly.
right.
And so clearly at 13 years old, I wasn't getting a tramp stamp,
Well,
if
yeah,
you
I
want to
know.
call it that.
See, I don't think.
But you
it
were
was the- I don't
13.
even thought it was the 90s.
It was the 90s because my little sister got one.
Yeah,
They were more daring.
It might have been
to
the
me.
90s.
I think it was. The
You know,
90s.
now
Yeah,
that I'm
it's not
thinking about it,
80s.
I'm thinking it might be more of the 90s.
And I hate that they call it a tramp stamp. Some guy gave it that name,
Yeah, it
obviously,
Had to
right?
have, yeah.
But for me,
for sure.
I like it because it's a place where you can see it, one, in an intimate moment, or with a bathing suit on.
Yep.
And it's or just plays like Eric Church sings in his song, playing Peeky Boo on your back. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
So I like that it's not you can't see it all of the time,
Right.
but you might be a little intrigued if you get a peek.
Yep. Yep.
Don't touch me though. You
Yeah.
can, I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's, don't touch me though. You get intrigued, but don't, it's not an invitation. Okay?
Oh, goodness.
That's all I'm saying. And so, yeah, so I mean, that's why I picked this spot.
Right.
I wasn't sure if I wanted, the one that I want to put up here, which is the one that I designed,
Yeah.
if I wanted to do that one first. So this is what I went with, and it's a heart that's made of a treble clef and a bass clef, an upside down treble clef, and then it's the heartbeat, which is
All
music
right.
is part of my heartbeat.
I figure it was
And
the
so-
heartbeat. That was a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's meaning to it. And I think anybody who gets a tattoo, and this is what I loved about having the guys on from the Painted Rose, James Templin is the artist who is one of my dear friends and is the only person I would entrust to do this, to put this art on me, because
Right.
he's incredibly talented.
He is very talented.
Yeah,
There
I
was
mean-
a tattoo he was doing before yours, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
So he said, and that was an
It was
all day.
awesome.
That guy was there for like 8 hours already.
Mm.
So, but what I like about James is, one, he's a perfectionist, and when he's tattooing somebody that he cares for, he takes longer because he's like, oh, I would have been done with that in less than an hour, but it had to be perfect for you.
oh,
And so I really appreciate that he puts that kind of care into
Right.
his artwork, especially when you're putting something on somebody, because he airbrushes, he paints, he pencil draws, he
Yes.
does portraits. I mean, he's absolutely a talented. But when you're putting art on somebody's body,
mhm.
it's very personal.
Mhm.
And most
It
of the
is.
ones that he's done are really, really personal. Like he's put the faces of, babies and who have been lost, or loved ones who have been lost on people's, arms, and it's scary. It's scary good.
Yeah.
scary good. The airbrushing I've seen him do on Harleys in tribute to someone who, lost somebody has been just some of the best work I've ever seen him do. So go to
That's
James,
awesome.
search up James Templin on Facebook, and you can see a bunch of his art. Search up the Painted Rose in Cleburne. It's right on the square, by the way,
Right, which is crazy.
Crazy for Cleburne, and we're so proud of them
So
for
proud.
allowing. One, these are artists. I mean, there's
Yeah.
such a taboo to tattoo places that
Right.
these guys, Chandler, Aaron, who whole nother level of tattoos right there. Hello, Aaron, if you're listening.
Yeah. Aaron is something. I like that guy.
Oh my God. Scrubbing bubbles under
I
the
like
armpit.
that guy. He's
It's
so
just-
funny.
Yeah.
He
So
cracks me up.
I sent you those. Didn't you get those in the group text? You got the first text where I changed my mind.
Oh yes, yes.
And he's got butt cheek tattoos. And then
what was so funny was Tiffany was like, she was like, I'm gonna send it to my husband and tell him this is what I got. And I was like, he's gonna know that's a man's ass. Like that's not a woman's ass. You can tell the difference.
Okay, but I did it to him just as a joke.
I know, but it was funny.
Because
it was funny.
I got dimples and
But Aaron was
mine.
in the background. I guess he could hear me, and he goes, "Thanks for recognizing that is a man's ass." And I was like, "You're welcome."
Well, I sent it to Shelly, who is one of my best friends, who is James's sister, and she goes, "I know what your butt looks like," and I'm like, "Yes, you do." And that was her response. She goes, I know what your butt looks like. I know that's not your butt. I can like hear her saying it out loud as she's typing it.
Right.
So anyway, it was just a really cool experience, and
it was fun.
And I got to share it with friends, and that I think makes it even more special. And Darren being there, there was just so much fun conversation.
Yes.
During the videoing of
Do
the
we
first
still
40
have that
minutes.
first video up?
It's
or
up.
Did you
Yeah.
delete it?
No, I kept it up. I said I would do it. That was the challenge we did when we were on air with the guys when we had them in studio. I said I would do it live.
Right.
On air. And so and Shelly was supposed to be there, but things happens, and everybody can't be there to watch me get tattooed, but you can actually. Yeah. Everybody was there. And then Stacy, she videoed, which is James's fiance, she videoed the last 5 minutes of
which
it.
She did so good. Right? I was like, dang it, girl, she did better than I did at first. I'm just like I'm like focused on you. Like I was genuinely like, okay, is she going to be okay? Is this like, because
you were so worried about me.
I was worried about you. And so like, I couldn't even think about saying, oh, we're at the Painted Rose and and like Stacey, she like blurted all that stuff out like a pro. I was like,
okay, we planned it before.
Stacey.
I was like, hey, we need to make sure we mention Painted Rose, where it's at, who the artist is.
Yeah, because I didn't do any of that. But I ended up leaving.
She's like, I got you. And so she did good. But you were so uber focused on, whether I was going to be pain. I have a very high pain tolerance, but it's not painful. Although there was a couple spots closer to my spine.
Oh yeah.
That were a little more nerving. Yeah. Like it hit my nerve. And then when he was on the far outside, he was getting really close to my tickle spots. And so where he's flattening my skin with his hand, every time he did that, I was like, don't just, I had to like hold it off really bad. So that was a couple things. I'm like, you're hitting really close to that tickle. And so that was the only thing I was worried about was flinching and then him getting mad at me for, jacking up my own tattoo. So anyway, it was cool.
Stop talking, Tiffany. Stop talking.
Yeah. Yeah, stop making me laugh. And Stacy got worse after you guys left.
Oh no.
And I was like, and you can't say anything. And then he would lift the needle and I go, and then I'd let out a big laugh. And I'm like, oh my God, stop. Like I can't handle it much longer. Because if you know me, I like to giggle.
Yes, so, I know it. That last part of the film, like when I was filming our recording or whatever, was hilarious.
It's not PG.
Forgot.
It's not PG. So just know that if you are going to go watch it, don't complain about the content or verbiage because it's not PG and we're not PG.
Right.
So
I don't know what that is.
That is Dave O'Connor. Dave, what are you putting up there?
Yeah,
good morning, Dave.
Dave, are you
No, Dave's one of our I know Dave. He's from here.
No, I was gonna say, did you get hacked?
No.
Have you been hacked?
I'll have to ask him.
Okay.
Hey Dave, why don't you call us and tell us what link it is that you're popping up there because I can't quite click on it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Morning.
All right. So how was your weekend? You got a puppy.
I did.
What's the puppy's name?
Moxie.
Moxie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I know you guys were like voting on which name you were going to go
yeah,
with,
and
and
we changed it twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
it
were
didn't-
calling it something else. In the
Moki.
Moki.
Yeah, and Braden wanted to call it Mochi.
Okay.
I didn't understand that one.
Oh, okay.
Is that like a Pokemon character?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know where he got it. Mocha was my original puppy that I had way back in the day when he was born, and that's what and she looks just like Mocha, like she's that dark brindle colored.
Keep your mouth on the microphone.
But she's so sweet, and we don't know what she is. She's a mutt.
She's really cute. I see a little bit of Pitbull.
Well, I see Boxer, I see Pitbull, I
Boxer,
see
yes.
Yeah.
Dane, I see I don't know, but there's
She's a
9
mutt, for
there's
sure.
9 in the litter, and they all look different.
Hmm.
Huh.
And mom is a mutt, so
Muttalicious.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Who cares,
Right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm just hoping that my son gets up and feeds the dog.
They can have different daddies too. Did you know that?
No.
One litter can have different daddies. If it's like a dog that's outside
I have
and
heard
there's
that.
multiple dogs, you can have different daddies for, yeah, it's crazy.
Different baby daddies.
Different baby daddies all in one litter. Imagine that.
Oh, hey Dave. Yeah, it won't let you comment with a photo. I wish it would, but I'll have to click on that link after. Oh, Brenda. Good morning, Brenda. Yes. Be sure to tune in at 11 a.m. when Mayor Chris Fletcher and Tim Davis are back to talk about the facts.
Yes.
And
And they do such a great job.
They really do. And it was his first time, because I did have someone comment and go, it was a little awkward at first. Well, it's Tim's first time on the radio. Like, you have to give people
It's so
a little
funny
bit of
too. He's
grace.
like, I'm a pro. I was like, okay, well, you get it, honey. Go ahead.
He's the Alpha and Omega pro. He's like the pest control pro. You know,
right.
whatever. All right. Hey, so before we go to break, let's do our focus.
Good morning, Jamie.
Morning, Jamie. Our focus word of the week. So here's the problem I have today. I left.
Why don't you let me read it?
2 pairs of my.
She does not let me read this ever.
Okay, so you got.
Why can't I read it?
All right. You got to read the word, the scripture, and then you go to the focus tip.
Okay,
just the tip.
Just the tip.
Because you don't want to read the whole thing. It's too much.
Okay, so just the.
So we focus on this and the focus tip.
Okay, so just what this is about, and then this.
Yeah.
None of this.
No, it's too much.
All right.
Nobody
right.
wants to hear all that, and we'll lose them.
Mhm.
All right.
Focus on the meat.
Focus on the meat. All right. Woo, that was dirty. Good morning, Nona. We miss you too.
As you're about to read scripture.
Or she said missing me. Yes,
we are missing you. Of course, we're
I
missing
know.
you.
I'm about to. All right. So let me focus. All right. Follow. My children, listen to me, for all who follow my ways are joyful. Proverbs 8:32. And then the focus tip is this week, when you start feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, think of the word follow. This is why she doesn't let me read it.
That's not true.
I'm just kidding. All right. You aren't the leader. You aren't in control, but you follow the one who is over it all, and he loves you deeply. Do you want me to read that again?
Yeah, just the tip.
Okay, just the tip. This week, when you start feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, think of the word follow. You aren't the leader, you aren't in control, but you follow the one who is over it all, and he loves you deeply.
Love it.
Yeah.
Give up control.
Give up control.
Yeah.
Well,
somewhat. Well, I mean, it's good to be a leader, but we have to remember that ultimately, and that's if, of course, you're whatever you believe in,
right?
You're following or you're allowing that being God. If you believe in God, Jesus, whatever it is whatever you believe in,
right?
And that clearly you believe in something because they're leading you. I don't know. I was trying to get a little deeper there, and I just wasn't. I was trying to get a little deeper with the tip, but
I feel like you create your own path, in creating that path. It's what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're doing, and what you're putting out is what you're going to be bringing back in. Is how I feel about it. And I mean, that could be just trusting and following and knowing what you want and knowing what he would want from you. right?
Yeah.
And the gifts that he's given you and provided you in how to create what you're going to be doing today, tomorrow, the next day, every day. It's what your creation, you're a version of him. You're made up of his image.
Yes.
So you have the power to create what your today is going to look like.
We just have to remember that his image is different for every single one of us. And so your path may not be my path, and your path may not be my path. And it's just the law of attraction. It's science, and it's science that literally comes from the spirit and from the Bible.
Right.
And what you put out there, you will get back. I mean, so if people say karma, you reap what you sow, and all that shit's true. It doesn't matter how you put it. But if you want to attract positivity in your life, then you have to put the positive out there.
Yeah.
And if you're nothing but negative constantly, and if that's what you see in other people, then that's what you're going to receive from them.
Right.
I had shared a post about it being a season of snakes right now because we're in an election season. And this is where it comes out. And so you have a choice to whether you look at candidates with full glasses on and not rose-colored glasses, or a negative viewpoint because you've already been told to believe something negative about someone.
Right.
So that's what you see. And you never give yourself a chance to actually want to like a person,
Right.
because you've already chosen just not to like them,
which is terrible.
And it's some of that too is like it comes with you ride bikes.
Yep.
And you and your husband ride.
Yep.
And so there's profiling, and so people will look at all bikers and like, oh my God, they're all scary people.
And we're not. We're awesome. Like, if you ever met my husband and I, we're like the best.
All right. Well, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. See you in 2.5 minutes.
Abnormal realities.
I love my mom.
Yep. She sent me a message.
My mom did?
Yeah, Wednesday night. And she invited me over tomorrow night to watch Titanic and share a bowl of popcorn. And I accepted.
You did?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
And she calls it Chaps Only Night. Every Saturday night.
Look.
Miss Dixie,
Look,
how you doing? He said, it's my mom, bro. All right, it's my mom.
I want to hear the answer to the Titanic and popcorn. Go ahead, Mom. What's up?
Oh!
Hi, boys. I just wanted to ask Rocky if he wanted butter on that popcorn or not.
I would rather have the butter somewhere else, but if popcorn's the only place I can have it, I'll take it.
Jeez,
hey,
dude.
Nobody says I can't roll around in it for a little bit.
All right, Mom.
That is
love
my girl.
You.
I love you,
Mom.
Dixie.
Abnormal realities.
My mom, love you.
Dixie.
I love you too.
With Ron and Rocky. Weekdays, 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. on JoCo Community Radio.
Holy crap.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tip surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
JoCo Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
All right. We are back. Thank you. I was trying to figure out the mics.
I got you.
All right. So, hello, everybody. Thank you for staying tuned. JoCo Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoCo.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store and check out our lineup and more at JoCoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more brought to you by Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-839-4245. Again, that's 844-839-4245. Be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com.
What?
What? All right.
All right. So we were talking before break about positive, like what we attract
Yes.
into our life, right?
Right. Absolutely. And so, like, I feel like this just goes a little bit with that, because, a lot of times when we feel like we're stuck, or we feel like, you feel like your path isn't what you want it to be, or you're not doing the following as what, was said in the focus. This kind of goes a little bit more and deeper into it. I believe it says we often feel stuck because we think of our problems only have we think our problems only have one solution, and it's not available to us. But we all have a MacGyver within us. Okay. We can all look beyond the apparent need and find a creative approach.
Right.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it's fantastic.
Because there's multiple ways that you can find a solution to a problem. It's not always just the one. You don't have to be one-sided, and even that goes based off of the election too, right? It's not just one-sided. You don't have to be stuck with just one person, because maybe somebody that knows them and is coaching you and pushing you to vote for that person. Get out there and figure out who you want to vote for, not for somebody else.
Meet them.
Yeah.
Call them. I mean, like, actually have a conversation with a candidate.
Absolutely.
I was reading some stuff about a local candidate who's running for city council here in Burleson. A young man who's 20 years old. And at first I was like, 20. I don't know. Is that a little too young to be serving? Well, his name's Jake Burnett. And so I went and actually listened to something he had to say and watched a video, and I went, wow, this is an educated guy. And I almost said kid, but he's not a kid. This is an educated guy, and he was extremely well-spoken. Like, I was really, really impressed. And he got beat up he was getting beat up on social media just for the sheer fact that he said he was a Christian. And so, a lot of these comments were all, why does it matter that he's a Christian? Why does he have to put that out there? Well, I ask you, why does it matter that he's a Christian?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what religion he is. If he were speaking openly about running and he was Muslim, would you have a problem then?
Right.
So there's this attack on, that's my Lori Moore.
It was.
I hope she's okay. And so it just comes down to some of the things that matters to him. And the only reason he mentioned it was because he said that my morals and ethics are based off of my faith.
Right.
And so what's wrong with that?
Isn't that what they want? Like, I thought that was what they want. Or do you just want somebody that's non-denominational,
I think it's
religious?
more
Like,
I think it's more, in Burleson, and it's just become such a divisive tactic, and it's such a divisive topic that people are using. And I'm going to say divisive topic. They're using it as a tool rather than just seeing a person for who they are, no matter what their faith is. I mean, I don't care what your faith is. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right? And
yep.
There's assholes all, of all faiths. I don't care what you are. I mean, we can look at the current council right now, and there's a couple of guys up there that say their faith, say that they're Christians, but they aren't behaving like that. So, I mean, it just doesn't matter. I don't care what your faith is. Nobody should care. Nobody should care that they're saying it out loud. Here's what I said in response to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
To somebody who private messaged me about it, was that, how about just be proud of the fact that he was willing to say he's proud of his faith.
Right.
Good for him. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I literally put that, who cares? Who cares?
I'm going to put it like this. Like, so, if that's the only thing that they can pick on him about, I'm applauding him now.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this.
Because if that's all that they can get you, that's obviously they're using that because that's the only thing that they can use. Right. Why would anybody, like, I've never heard of somebody talking smack about somebody saying that they were a Christian.
But they do
on social media. So that's the only these attackers are that the only thing that they're doing is they're just trying to find one thing that they can say, other than probably age.
There's been comments about that, and here's what I say to that. we are a growing young community, and
Yeah.
we need people who appeal to all ages. And personally, I'd like to see somebody who's more younger people running for council and for school board, because that will bring out the young voters. And that's truly what we need right now in a town of, there's one guy, Larry Scott, who's running, and he's running for an open seat. So he's not really, pushing, because my sister is not running again.
Right.
I think that's the seat Larry's running for. I think so. Anyway, I just saw a political ad that he put out, and it was all about voters. We've got 26,000 or 27,000 registered voters in Burleson. There's 51,000 residents. So that's kind of pathetic that we only have 27,000 people who are registered to vote. But even more pathetic is less than 10% actually vote in local elections. And then the rest want to bitch about it. So you want to bitch about what you don't like, city debt, I want my potholes fixed, I want this done, I want that, but then you're not getting out and actually voting for these people, several who have been on, city council for 11 plus years, who are now pushing for some change. Where were you 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Pushing for less debt.
I wish I lived in Burleson already.
So,
really
and by the
do.
way, we have invited every single candidate across Johnson County to join us on JoCo Community Radio. And we've had several completely just decline, and one who has not responded at all. And it happens to be Jake's opponent. And I question why. Why aren't you getting out to the public and speaking to them and telling them what you're about? I mean, I don't know why Mr. Anderson's running. Why are you running?
Right.
Give me something. What do you want to make better? In your, I believe he's in his 70s. And so why in your 70s at this point in time, why are you running? What is it that you can change or can do better than other candidates? And these guys are running for an open seat.
Right.
So because Rick's not running again. So yeah, I didn't mean to get political. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It happens.
I mean, a few
that's
things
what we're doing.
on my mind about that. I mean,
Yeah.
the mayor and Tim are going to discuss what the mayor's been doing and his accomplishments, and that is a paid for show, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to come on and do a show, I'll take your money. I'm a business person, so give me a call.
Right, exactly.
It's not a one-sided thing. It's an opportunity for people to get heard and to talk about why they're running, so that people can get to know them and know who you're voting for. Educate yourself.
Right.
Quit listening to the rhetoric and sitting in, groups that just want to attack people because they're pissed off about elections 3 years ago and can't get over vengeance.
I'll just say
so
this.
stupid.
For those of you that are still living in your past, you're going to continue to stay there, and you're not going to move forward in life. You're just going to keep living in the past. And so, I mean, I feel like this is a new year. There, it's already been, these last couple of years have already been harder on people. I mean, if you look at our suicide rate, and
it's
our
intense.
numbers, it's intense, and our mental health that we have, that is going on right now in the world. Why are we continuing to keep that going by bullying on social media, even as adults? Okay. Why are we continuing to do that by being negative and teaching our youth that it's okay to talk like this to people, or think this way about other people, or to live in their past? Is that what we want to teach our youth? I don't think so. This to me, I see a guy who's 20 years old who's stepping up to the plate, and it's a tough I
plate.
applaud him.
It's a tough plate to be at.
Right.
And so, as of right now, I back him. I would vote for him if I could vote in city limits, but I can't. But I would vote for him because I haven't heard anything from his opponent.
Right.
So, and he's willing to put himself out there, and that's the toughest part you can possibly do. So kudos, Jake. I believe he's going to be joining us next Wednesday.
I'm excited
at
to
the
meet
table
him, because like my girls, our girls are phenomenal. Any of our young ladies are very great public speakers, and I'm talking about our Miss JoCo, Miss
Chisholm
Trail. Those young ladies, they're in their 20s, and I could easily see either one of them also be able to be in that kind of a position, because they are well spoken. They do have great ideas. They're up to date on technology, and up to date on the AI, and up to date on all of the things that, regardless of your age and where you're at, like, this is why we should not be stuck. We need to, it's just like what I read. Okay. We need to not be stuck. We need to think like MacGyver, because the world is changing. The world is producing new technology, producing new things every day. We are changing. We're not supposed to be stuck in the 1960s or 19 freaking 20s or whatever. We're not stuck there anymore. We're in a whole different world. And we need to make this one better than last year.
I don't know.
This
Tiffany's stuck in the 1990s with her tramp
With my
stamps.
Right? I know, right? Dang it. You're not helping me here.
I graduated high school in 1991. We'll transition to that here in just a second because we're going to talk about that because I'm going to turn a half a century here in a couple of months. And I don't care if anybody knows that because I don't feel it.
You don't look it by no means.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It
you look
just,
amazing.
I mean, age is a state of mind. So,
It
I mean,
is.
how old do you want to be? That's what
Right.
it comes
Yep.
down to. But speaking of MacGyver, this is literally why I carry around a gum wrapper in my purse. Have you ever see you guys are too young for MacGyver?
No, I
Damn
know.
it.
I know.
Never
I've
actually
watched
seen it.
MacGyver.
I
Wait a
did too.
minute.
He
I've
could
watched
like
MacGyver.
make a
The
bomb.
new one or the old one?
Old.
Yeah,
We're talking
I watched the old
the
one.
old
I
one.
watched the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would
I was
he could
born
make
in 82. Come on.
he could make a
now.
bomb out of a gum wrapper and I don't know what else he would he'd wrap it
many
around.
things.
He'd wrap it around a screw and then put some liquid on it. I don't know. So it just kind of stuck.
Well,
with
that's
me.
why I have my tactical pen now.
You do have your tactical
I have
pen.
a tactical pen.
It's hot in here.
All right, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
You,
I'm hot.
okay. I'm
No, it's not
fine,
a-
but
I know, it's
you're
hot.
drinking coffee. You want to drink some of my,
Nope.
but it's got energy in
No.
it. Okay, go
Um,
ahead.
So, all right. So I'm going to turn 50, a half a century on May 29th, which means I was born in 1973. So I thought every day from now until my birthday, I would read something about history from 1973,
Right.
specifically that day. So today is April 4th, and the World Trade Center, then the world's tallest building, opened in New York City. 110 stories. I've been to the top of it multiple times.
I
For
have
those
not.
people who think I have height issues, I do not have height issues. I have clean edge fear of falling.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fearful.
All right.
Like what?
So-
Jumping out of an airplane?
I don't know because I've like had multiple dreams of falling to my death,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and so the other things have happened in my past
Right.
that triggered things. And
I'm taking
and
you skydiving, and we're gonna do a whole video about it on air. Let's do
so
it.
then again, so everybody knows that
Yeah.
the World Trade Center was
Yep,
then
you
destroyed
too.
and was then destroyed in 9/11. And I happened to be in the air that day, so I was one of the last 6 planes to land that day. So
Oh.
anyway, but April 4th, that's the World Trade Center opened in 1973, and if you ever get a chance to go to New York City, please go. Like the very first time I went, I can't remember if it was with my parents or if it was on one of our class trips. So, but I remember the elevator ride, that initial elevator ride, because it is, it shoots up like, crazy. So, really cool. But go see the memorial and then definitely go to the Empire State Building because I've been to the top of that too, and go all the way to the top, go all the way
Right.
to the steeple. But it has an amazing museum on one of the upper floors when you first get up there, and this is clearly in the Empire State Building I'm talking about now, that shows like the full build of the building and how many men died building it.
Oh wow.
And because they would fall.
Right.
And so it's just cool. It's just cool. Anyway, so that's today in history 1973, but also today in history, just after 6 p.m. on April 4th, 1968, the year my husband was born, Martin Luther King Jr. was fatally shot while standing on the balcony outside his second-story room at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. If you don't know the history on this civil rights leader, I don't know what rock you've been sleeping under, but he did amazing things for this country and set a lot of things in motion for change, for healthy change in this country. So,
Well, I can tell you I don't know about him, but then again, I lived in Germany, so
you didn't. So when you lived in Germany, you weren't getting like American history.
absolutely not. No.
How crazy is
Yeah.
that? So
Yeah.
here we are.
I knew nothing. Like my history when I took history, when I came back from and I started high school. So I was like 16ish, almost. I was about to turn 17 when I moved back to the States.
Really? So
Yeah.
you didn't. So living in Germany, they didn't teach world history at that time.
Not that has to do with America. No, they didn't like Americans really.
How
wow.
how crazy is that?
For the
Because
most
that's
part.
such a
Well,
big part.
Like they do, but they don't. Like I don't know. Like there's those that do and those that don't.
That's so incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
To learn. I mean,
learned
seriously.
about France and in Italy and German history, and history was very different there. It wasn't the same here.
Well, let me give you a little more history on
All
him
right.
then, since you
All
don't
right.
really know.
Yeah.
The civil rights leader was in Memphis to support a sanitation workers strike and was on his way to dinner when a bullet struck him in the jaw and severed his spinal cord. King was pronounced dead after his arrival at Memphis Hospital. He was 39 years old. In the months before his assassination, Martin Luther King became increasingly concerned with the problem of economic inequality in America. He organized a poor people's campaign to focus on the issue, including a march on Washington, and in March 1968 traveled to Memphis in support of poorly treated African American sanitation workers. On March 28th, a workers' protest march led by King ended in violence and the death of an African American teenager. King left the city but vowed to return in early April to lead another demonstration. And then on April 3rd, the day before he was shot, back in Memphis, King gave his sermon saying, "We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop." That gives me goosebumps that he said that the day before he died. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain, and I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
I got goosebumps. I mean, I got chills.
I don't think I've ever heard.
So you're talking about Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I know a little. Yeah, I know some.
Yeah.
Like I know a little bit about it because I did get, I think, partial of it during Black History Month when I was in elementary school, and then a little bit when I was in high school. Not much. Like I said, I missed a lot.
You did. It's really interesting that
Yeah.
there wasn't. So I mean, I look at it from a history and social studies point of view, that we as America are teaching, or at the time, because today I think the world history and some of the stuff that's being taught in social studies, we've lost a lot of history that's not being taught, especially American history.
Yeah.
But we've taught a lot of world history and, the German, what was going on in Germany and, all the wars across the world. I mean, we've learned all that stuff. And here you are growing up in Germany and they didn't give a shit what was going on to teach you guys what was going on in American history.
It wasn't.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
It wasn't really relevant,
right,
to what they were doing. Like their schooling and everything was so different than here. I feel like better, to be honest.
Oh, we're way behind.
Yeah,
we're way behind in education than other countries.
When I came to the States, they put me back 2 grades because I knew German and I could speak German, and I was going to and attending German school.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that terrible? I was like, I'm smarter than all of y'all. So I didn't go to class. I taught them. No, I'm just kidding. I did go for so my first, because they put me back a grade, I was really upset. So my sophomore year, I got I started soccer, but then the second semester, soccer season was over, I believe, or it was vice versa, something like that. I think it was how I'm saying it. I don't know. I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
Soccer is typically in the spring semester. So
yeah,
football.
Yeah. Football. So
I had to say it like that because I just started watching season 3 of Ted Lasso last night.
Somebody keeps people around me keep talking about this show. I've got to watch it, I guess.
Yes.
Okay. Can I just say she's our Ted Lasso?
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, now I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Now I gotta watch it.
You know where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
With the shenanigans.
It's not just shenanigans. It's his outlook on life and his positivity in every mode of what he's going through. Although he has his own breakdown, which we all have our own breakdowns.
We all do. Trust me.
But it's the way he handles the negativity that comes at him. He just punches it in the face with massive positivity.
Right.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
I love doing.
So now you're gonna.
I love.
So it's on
that?
Apple. It's on Apple TV. So if you don't have Apple TV,
I don't have Apple TV.
I'll have to share my login possibly with you.
Oh.
Because you really need to watch it.
Yeah.
You got to start it. You have to start it from the beginning.
Okay.
So
we need a new show too.
I'm telling you, this Ted Lasso, you're gonna love it. And then of course, if I give you my login, you're gonna want to watch the morning show as well.
Okay, the morning show.
Start that from. I went. So that's what I went.
Watch that one.
Oh, need to watch it. So good. So I went in and I was actually gonna watch the next season of that because I thought it was supposed to start in February, and I'm like, just where is the next season?
Well, I'm just
And
telling
to-
you, when
this-
elections start over, we about to have some shenanigans up in here.
Yeah. Well, we're not. Hey, we're not talking like crazy stuff.
No,
I mean,
no. Good stuff. It's gonna be
yeah.
great. It's gonna be great.
So,
I like
speaking of that,
positive, comical
give me a deck.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wait.
Save what the hex are for Thursday.
I want to try what I want an interview one. I want to try one of these. Let's see what
All
it
right.
says.
That one's not the deck you want. I promise. Go to grab the other one.
Well, I mean, these are good. These are good. I'm not
Are they
knocking
topics? Are they
No,
topics?
all right. So here, check it out.
All right. Well, while you pick one.
Okay, I picked one. I think I'm just going with this top one.
Well, really quick.
Okay.
National holidays for April 4th.
Oh yeah.
It's National Hug a News Person Day.
Well, where's my Heather Hayes? Heather, I
yeah,
need to
she
hug
needs
you
to get on
today,
here.
honey.
Um,
I'll send her a message. I'll let her know.
It's
She's
also
my news lady. And then Mary. I know Mary. God bless. I can't remember her name right now.
It's International Carrot Day.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to read that one. But it's also Holy Tuesday. And so as we're upcoming, Palm Sunday was Sunday.
Right.
And Easter is coming on this coming Sunday. So I figured I would go ahead and at least read to you what Holy Tuesday is. Holy Tuesday is observed on the Tuesday of Holy Week every year, which is the week that precedes Easter Sunday and usually falls somewhere between the end of March and the beginning of April. This year, it takes place on April 4th. This day is observed by Christians around the world as they meditate on Christ's experiences leading up to the crucifixion and his eventual return from the dead, which is celebrated on Easter. The day is also known as Fig Tuesday, as it commemorates the day Jesus returned to Jerusalem from Bethany, passing a barren fig tree on the way, which he used as an example to teach his disciples.
So we need to get some Fig Newtons.
I love Fig Newtons.
I do too. I like them a lot.
I do.
A lot.
I like the regular ones. I tried
a
lot.
a lot.
I tried the low fat ones. No, it's just not the same.
No.
And if you need a cookie, just eat a freaking cookie.
Yeah.
I'm on shakes though. I have to do nothing but shakes for at least 2 weeks.
Not going to try and tell you to not eat shakes.
I know. Eat shakes.
I'm going to go get a sausage biscuit. Probably.
There you go.
Just
Right on
telling
ahead,
ya.
girl. Get it.
Get
it.
that meat.
Get it. Get it.
All right. So what you got on that?
All right. So I think this is a really good one. When you die, what do you want to be remembered for?
Oof.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oof to me.
Oof.
Oof. When
That's
I
a good one.
die, what do I want to remember for? Brianna, do you have?
No idea.
I know what I would.
What?
I want to be known as, as someone who really brought light into people's darkness and really brought, positivity into their life and created a peace and a joy and a calm and a balance with those that I've been around in my life. And if I could do that to more people outside of that, I would love to be remembered to be able to produce that in a bigger setting, a bigger group. You do public speaking.
You do get to do that right now, though, on the radio. Though,
I
with your
absolutely do.
Positivity Toolbox show.
Yes.
Let's not forget that because,
Yes.
and you are touching people, and people. I've had people reach out about other shows that we have on here.
Yeah,
I would get emails to JoCo going, "Thank you so much for Tish's show. Her episode this week really touched me." And so after, and I remember sending this to Tish, and it was after her, and I hate it because she's moved on now.
I know.
But I'm super happy for her because growth is good, and that's part of what we do. And if I wanted to be remembered for anything, it would be that one, I was a kind, loving person, and that I've helped people grow in their journey of success and business, and I inspired them to say yes to things that they would typically say no, and to have the positive mindset of what if up, in a good way, what if it all goes right, versus having that fear of I'm going to fall off stage, or I'm going to, and I've had those moments. Like, I mean, I haven't fallen off a stage, but I did during CMA Fest in 2015 in Nashville. I had a moment of severe stage fright, and I had locked eyes with my uncle who was in the audience, and I just went gone. I was gone. So it's more nerve wracking for me to sing in front of family and people that I'm close with, than it is for me to sing in front of, 300 strangers. It's right. And so I was singing gibberish, and I had to I don't even know how I brought myself back, but it was horrific and the most horrific experience I've had ever on stage. But the fact is that I still said yes. I said yes when I was invited to do it. So I want to be remembered for that. That if I inspired someone to say yes to do something that they were terrified to do, listen to me, people talking about you need to stand on the edge of something, you need to jump out of a plane. Well, I might say yes to that someday.
You are.
I may.
You
I mean,
are,
there's a
'cause
lot
I'm
of
taking you. We're going.
there's a lot of firsts, and
I think it should be your
I'm only going to be
birthday.
50.
It should be your
I am not
birthday.
jumping out of a plane. I'm driving a fast car at some point, but it won't be right on my birthday. So, yeah, I'll be at the Colonial. That's where I'm going to be, watching some golf,
Okay.
sipping some spirits. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on Talk About It Tuesday. Be sure to come back at 11 a.m. for The Facts with Tim Davis and Mayor Chris Fletcher here in Burleson. Go out there, have an amazing day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Be kind. God bless.
And then we're going to hear what Brianna.
Oh, yeah. You're going to give us our answer tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know.
There you are.
You're gonna know tomorrow. Oh, you got this?
I got it.
Okay. Bye, guys. Have a great week. We love y'all.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, JoCo Community Radio.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get air